Today I'm in one of my favourite garden centres. It is Notcutts in Ashton, and today I'm going to share with you what to buy for your gardens in April. Make sure to check out the chapters below because I've split this video up into shade, sun loving, all sorts of different topics. That way you can find out what works specifically for your garden. We're going through a pretty weird phase here in the UK. The sun has been shining for almost 2 weeks now, and we've got another week of full sun with temperatures today reaching 24 degrees Celsius. This is unheard of for spring. So a lot of the plants that we're seeing right now actually are not normally in flower. That is something to be warned about though, because we might find ourselves coming to a nursery like this, selecting all of these plants that we see and like, but in actual fact it could be snowing in 2 weeks time and we could possibly lose those plants. About this time I will be showing you some of the bedding plants to get, but at the moment, because of this sun and this warm weather that we've been experiencing, some of the plants have actually sped up. So right now we're in a cross in between late spring and the early summer bedding plants. And what's happening now is some of those summer bedding plants are already in flower. Now if we were to pick some of these, yes, they look beautiful now, but if here in the UK, if it does go into frost and snow again in a month's time, all of those plants would be lost. Now some of these packs are around about £12.99. So you're going to get £12.99's worth of really beautiful colour right now. But once again, if there is a frost, you will lose that. At this moment in time, what I'm probably going to suggest is admire some of these bedding plants from afar and just wait it out a little bit. Wait another month or so until you're all in the clear, and then go all out for your bedding plants. If you love an English cottage garden, then now is the best time to pick up some of your plants. But you have to have vision, because as you can see, they're pretty small, but so is the price. So as you can see, £4.99 each, or 6 for £20. Fully grown, some of those plants would be £12–13 each. So now's a great time to stock up, get a few whilst they're small and let them grow on. If I was going to make a selection from some of these plants, I think I would probably go for one of these foxgloves, and let me show you why. So not only is it a good colour palette, but it's also a perennial. Now normally when it comes to foxgloves are biennial, which means that they grow nice and strong in their first year, and then in their second year, that's when they send up those tall spikes of flowers. Now a perennial version, this is a hybrid, so essentially what this will do is it will come back year after year and flower. So for £4.99 you're going to get a perennial plant that will grow up, flower this year, and will also flower again next year, saving you money. Now you know me guys, I'm not here to buy anything. You know, I'm just trying to help you guys. Oh goodness gracious. What a mess. Geraniums are another really great shout. There's so many varieties here, but I will probably be inclined to go for a splish splash. That kind of goes with my colour palette, and these are pretty hardy and should do quite well in a container. Try as I might, I can never grow these damn things from seed or bare root. They always end up flopping, so this will probably be something that I would get. Once again, when these are fully grown, these would be something like £12 to £16 each, so yeah, get these now. Quite like Srping, unlike a bleeding heart. These beautiful flowers grow from this shrub-like plant. We're used to seeing the pink variety, but did you know that you can actually get a white variety? Now, how stunning is that? It will die back in around summer. It doesn't really like the heat, and that can make it look really ugly when it's yellow and awful, but it will bounce back the following year with a vengeance. To be honest, it's normally the first thing that flowers in my garden each year. You can even get a red variety. Now, my red one at home, it is doing nothing. Well, to be fair, she's just started to come back, but the pink one, I cannot wait for you guys to see my pink one. Because she's just the next level. If you like to see the bleeding heart in its full glory, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. Now, one garden staple is a lupin. These do really well in containers, and for £10.99, let's have a look at this. This is another great buy. They send up really tall spikes of flowers which are absolutely gorgeous. Well, another plant that I would be picking up right about now is Nepeta. This is a really good, strong, hardy plant that will flower year after year. It's easy to propagate, you can divide it really easily, and then all you really need to do is chop it back in early spring and it will bounce right back the following year. Once again, saving you money. If you have any of the plants in today's video, let us know how you got on with them last year. Or if you are about to go shopping, let us know what you are planning to get. Now, peonies are not cheap at all. Look at this, $16.99, but it's worth it for those blooms. And this is actually the same variety that I have on the cloud garden, but as you can see, this one is so healthy. And what I love about this is the color of the leaves, but also you then get this beautiful bloom. Again, it's cheaper to get this now than when it's in full bloom. So if you want an investment, this is also a perennial. I would get one of these now, and then this is a plant that you can savor for years to come. Now, what I have just found is some peat-free wildflowers that are only £2.99 each. Now that is an absolute bargain. Just look at this. So cornflowers, peat-free, £2.99. I mean, ooh. I don't know whose basket that is. I have to complain, it's like a trip hazard or something. No, because what kind of person would just leave a basket full of plants right next to somebody else? Honestly, nowhere is safe these days. If you haven't already got your sweet peas, pack it in. Just go grab yourself a container like this, £2.49. Get it in the container or get it in ground. And don't worry about the fact that you haven't actually started your seed sowing yet. Those of you with shady gardens, anemones are fantastic. They do really well in borders, but they also do well in containers. They flower in spring, but they can also flower in summer as well. Absolutely gorgeous. If you're looking for a little bit of interest from foliage, Brunnera are absolutely top notch, and they send up these really pretty blue flowers as well. Again, these are perennials, so they're going to come back year after year. But look, and they've got such nice texture on the leaves as well. Definitely one to add to your collection if you don't have one already. Those of you who have shady gardens, this beautiful fern is definitely one to go with. It's called Mossy Soft Shield. And this is evergreen, so that means that you're going to get these fronds all year round. You can also inject a little bit of colour by using some heucheras. You could even add in a little bit of extra colour with a euphorbia, and I particularly like the Merlot. Having a shady garden doesn't have to be boring because you can still add in some colour through flowers. Once again, if you do have a shadier garden, there are still some really great hellebores that are out flowering right about now. Once again, these are perennials, so they'll come back year after year. A scabiosa will do just fine in part shade and will thrive in a container. Mine have come back year after year on my balcony garden. So as you can see, you have plenty of options on a shade garden, so don't feel downhearted. Your garden can be cool too. If money was no object, I'd be looking at some climbing roses now if I didn't already have some. Look at how vibrantly green these stems are, and you can see all of these healthy new shoots. Now is a great time to pick one of these up. You can slot them into their final position and then give them a little bit of time to settle in before the heights of summer. Just be warned that these can get up to 10 feet high, so they're going to need a trellis way taller than what you see here. So you're looking at either a really tall wall to put them against with a trellis or something like a rose arch. Now when it comes to clematis, you'll see that some are flowering and some are not, and that's because some clematis are spring flowers and some flower in summer. This is a clematis blue dancer and I absolutely love these flowers. But then you've got these purple ones here which are just gorgeous, and you can see all of this fresh growth. Now if you want visual impact first thing in spring, obviously you can opt for one of those blue dancers. However, if you're thinking about what's going to flower later on in the season, then you might want to go for a different variety, which of course is not going to be flowering now. So what you should be looking out for is, if you're to go for something like this, Nelly Moser, this will flower from late spring all the way through summer. And what you should be looking out for is that the plant has got lots of healthy buds all the way around. Now I'm not a particular fan of that flower. I would opt for something a little bit more classic like this. However, this is a late summer bloomer, but again you've got all of this luscious growth all the way here, so I know that that plant is going to do pretty well. Now I use this in my urban show garden. In fact, I think several of my gardens at that show had early sensations, and these are gorgeous flowers, but as the name does suggest, it does flower pretty early. Something I really like about early sensations is those leaves are actually evergreen. Now one of the complaints I've had from a client is when they have the clematis, it looks awesome, but once it drops all of its leaves, it can become a nightmare to clean up. But then also the bare vines themselves, they can look ugly. Something like early sensations is really useful because it eliminates half of those issues. This one is now how much? $64.99, but you can see what it would look like. You may just have a small patio or a balcony like me, but you actually can grow trees on a balcony in containers. This Malice Halloween is sending up some really beautiful flowers. But believe it or not, this guy can do really, really well in a container. So if you're looking for some form of a container tree, this might be a really good variety for you. Now is the time to stock up on all of your herbs. So these are only £2.99. Make sure though that you go for hardy varieties. So things like lavender, thyme, your chives will be just fine. Chamomile should be okay. Fennel will also be pretty hardy. Maram and mint, oregano. Once again, these are all great options, and these are only £2.99 a pot. And if you do go through a bit of a frost, these guys should be okay. If you haven't started your seed sowing yet for your veg, don't worry about it, because there is a plethora of things to choose from. Little row of these seed packs. So what's this? Red salad bowl, only £2.99, and it's pretty much the same for all of these. So you've got beans, carrots, baby corns, radishes, broccoli,
so make sure to
kale,
go inside and double check to see if there are any
cauliflower,
veg like tomatoes,
onions,
and
all sorts of different things. So there's absolutely no reason to panic that you haven't sown enough seeds. It's fine. Sometimes we can get in our head and think, okay, because I haven't actually sown anything and I've just bought it from the nursery, it means that I'm not a great gardener. No. I can tell you, even Monty will be buying some plants from a nursery, so that's what they're here for. Use them if need be. Although we are getting a lot more sun than usual here in the UK, you'll find that most nurseries have got their tender, warm-loving plants like tomatoes, chilies, peppers indoors, and it's still a great time to get them because they're relatively cheap right about now. Oh! I didn't. Someone just gave these to me, so I'm just holding them for another customer. I'm sure they're just waiting for their car to come around. That must be what it is. Shit. So this might come as a surprise to some of you, but yeah, I did actually take some things home with me. So I ended up with the Nobilis, the Anthemis, essentially like oxide daisies. I did pick up some digitalis, but the perennials. I ended up with the Rebecca, the Splish Splash, another type of foxglove, again perennial. I just could not resist the Achillea summer pastels. Those are going to look gorgeous. All of these multicolored blooms. A greater knapweed. These are so stunning. Really great wildflower. Some field poppies. And then lastly, some cornflowers. I don't want to give away too much, but the cloud garden is looking pretty awesome right now, and we're still early in the season. I actually don't know where I'm going to fit any of these plants in, but you know, I'll figure it out. Let me know what you would have picked up if you were out shopping with me today. Hopefully I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye. The next balcony video will be a balcony tour, and then I'm going to show you how to plant up in containers. A special thank you to the team at Notcutts for allowing me to film today. I hope this video has been useful to you, and hopefully I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye!